You're too darn smart. Oh,
Ixia coming in like this.
this is so unplayable now.
Oh my
Almost
goodness.
good luck at exactly this.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
Oh man.
What a way to put this game on.
The foresight from SRG. The foresight is ridiculous. Well played, man. I can't say more than this. Zorovecki is making sure that there is no mercy for Pops, but I mean, you know what? I'll just let our casters do the hard work here. Let's see whether SRG builds their dynasty or the reverse sweep starts now. Casters, take it away.
My goodness, Dafa. I know we talk a lot about the Sicilian Carmilla combo, the only duo has been shown once by Vamos in the group stage, but to see it in such a pivotal game where they could lose it all, and SRG to come back with the classic Ixia Matilda, this is gonna be a heck of a game. Game number 5 as they head into the land of dawn to the SRG on blue side and Vamos on red.
Will the vampiric couple be able to defy the dynasty that stands before them as the Selangor Red Giants stand a single victory away from making history? Only time and the land of dawn shall tell as we bear witness to what could be the ultimate game of MPL Malaysia Season 14.
This could be terminus. This could be the very last game in the grand finals to cap off the competitive year before M6, but so far, I mean, this petrify, bad impact is too much. First blood for Zorn.
Straight away punishing the Selangor Red Giant, Stormy, for overextending. I think he just forgot he had Petrify.
Yeah, I think so too. You don't see it as often. This is kind of the way to catch your opponents off guard, and now the proxy on the bottom side. You don't want to give Cram too much space to work with.
Carmilla, definitely an unusual pick. Zorn is the only player in the entire league that will grab it up. And it's usually only picked to compete with heroes like the Chip or Loyi. Though Vamos looks like they went for it as a more general answer to SRG's aggression here, and to make sure that they have a little bit more late game potential. What I worry about is that both Sicilian and Harif are magic damage dealers. Itemizing against them is not too difficult for SRG.
I share your concern. I definitely agree with that, right? Chibi is the only guy who has that physical burst, but when that late game rolls around, how long does Team Vamos need to drag on for this Warlord Sicilian to be a threat?
Maybe that's part of the plan, right? Divert SRG's attention, make him build full magic defense for Nets and Warlord, and then let Chibi carry the game.
You can only carry if you get to that stage, but the panel talked about how this Carmilla Sicilian is a staple of Vamos, their pocket pick, their last resort. But once the Matilda Ixia came out, Gideon instantly said this is unplayable. Is that really the case?
It does make it a lot more difficult because Team Vamos is playing a front-to-back lineup now. It's very obvious. They're not really going to be doing any flanking because they want to play behind Smooth and Zorn. And when the enemy is front-to-back, that full barrage, that's the positioning it wants them in. As long as Innocent holds out fine in lane against Nets, he becomes a monster.
And Warlord sends Zorn towards Doom. Bad impact. It's gonna connect. That's gonna be another kill. This time on the Chibi. Glorious Pathway revitalized AOG from Crab. Another knockout control. Zorn goes down. Stormy in the fight still. Double kill for Chibi. And Team Vamos wins the trade.
The unfortunate thing for SRG though is that their early game damage potential is actually on the lower side. With Views on the Matilda, Stormy on the Zeusin, and Cram on a tank Gatot, Skies is the only source of DPS they can rely on. Oh, Innocent in trouble.
Potential solo kill. That's Innocent having to use the flicker. And Nets is coming back for round 2.
No.
Innocent gonna fight this out. A good attempt, but not good enough.
Kind of underestimated the timing of the Zaman Force. Thought that he could walk back in time for it to expire, but Nets was able to re-engage on him with it.
Maybe they can get Zorn. Just crowd control him, but Warlord saves him. You don't take down Carmilla that easily. Just like that, Vamos have gained control of the turtle.
And this is good. Team Vamos need to be in control early on. They got to take advantage of the fact that SRG just doesn't have enough burst right now to take down the Hylos with Revitalize, to start building up Chibi as a threat. If they itemize against the Suyo, Nets and Warlord go ham, and vice versa.
They're middle ground. to this predicament? You kind of go Athena and then into Antique. Is that going to kind of balance out the scales?
It's a bit difficult because you also want to maybe get Radiant due to the amount of magic damage sources that are coming out. Would be quite easy to build up the stacks on the Ring of Punishment, for example. It's gonna require a bit of strategizing. Not to mention that SRG are mainly going to be wanting to build a lot of damage on Innocent and maybe on Stormy as well, just to be able to deal with them come mid-game. They can't afford to let this drag too late because, well, we've seen what Warlord can do.
Absolutely. Then I also said that every time it's on the panel, Team Vamos wins. It seems like we have started that trajectory. It's not big of a lead just yet, just under 1,000. So SRG not out of the woods by any degree.
If that's the case, maybe they'd be interested in taking him in as a mascot at this point. But I digress. For this game right now, Vamos is going to keep the pressure going.
And the target is Stormy. Petrify committed, but Yums gets him out.
Petrify is a very interesting choice on a Carmilla. It wouldn't be as effective as on someone like Benedetta or Yuzong, for example. But now I'm seeing the logic. Zorn is keeping them in place just a second longer to make the bat impacts easier to land. It is fully a duo play here from the Sicilian Carmilla. Let's see if it works out. Vamos already have a 1k gold lead.
The XP laners will start proxying waves. This kind of the wet noodle fight on the bottom side. We're seeing that interesting interaction between what Vamos and SRG have, especially the unexpected amount of burst, right, that Team Vamos has. It's so easy to connect the bad impact with Sanguine Claws. They do have some means to set up the second turtle up on the map. Let's see if SRG can put up a fight. Cram to the back line. Stormy does have the guiding winds on him. Can take if he wants to, but Ness can be dragged back, and now the fight is split. Ness unfortunately cannot fully commit, but it's enough for Team Vamos to gain priority over the turtle. Cram goes in with the AOG. Now Yums has to save him. Gets the taunt. Full barrage. Everyone comes in, but the Sanguine Claws checks them in, and Team Vamos have found the opening. SRG sitting ducks, and Chibi once more can't get it, but 2 is enough.
Beautiful approach to the team fight here. Cram tried to distract, tried to maybe pull Chibi off of the turtle, but he's a Gatot, and Vamos have a good amount of mobility. They actually can just ignore him entirely. And although the Ixia is pretty good at dealing with a front-to-back composition, the Sicilian having those Sanguine Claws from a distance, easily canceling full barrages, SRG are in a little bit of trouble here, actually.
No, just like that, it went from under 1,000 to a 3k kind of goal advantage, and it's still growing. Chibi, level 11, 4-0. Sakai's not even close to that. And this Jusin is actually suffering a little bit despite the amount of utility that she brings, and what we've witnessed, Sakai's again ran at, and help is not arriving anytime soon. Chibi is unstoppable.
One approach you can deal with a Zusin is in a similar way to the different methods of handling Valentina, where you either don't pick good ult or have too many. In this case, Vamos is going for a full dive composition, where as long as they have the lead, doesn't even matter if Stormy picks them up, they're just gonna run at them and overpower them in terms of damage and durability. And that is exactly what's happening. We've also highlighted Vamos only really need either Chibi or Nets and Warlord to pop off. And the dangerous thing for SRG is all of them are farming very efficiently.
And on top of that, the icing on the cake is that Vamos, Sicilian, sort of infinite scaling with the bad impact, right? So no matter how late the game goes, Vamos will always have that unleashed limit in terms of power creep, especially when the bad impact hits that 300 stacks. That's the danger zone. Thor spawning and Vamos on top of it.
The combination of this Carmilla Sicilian with Suyo is actually an interesting one in how it manipulates the draft, because oftentimes you will pick Alpha to counter it, but without an assassin in the jungle to easily jump Warlord in the backline, he can quite easily just dish out DPS. Selangor Red Giants had a pretty good comp going into this. They even anticipated the Carmilla Sicilian, but I think there were certain factors on the edge of things that were not fully considered.
Maybe a bit of tunnel vision, maybe just kind of a change of appetite, a change of palate. Vamos looking to break into the 7k goal lead in under 9 minutes. Lord coming from top side as well. And as much as SRG wants to mount the defense, they don't really have the best wave clear.
Yeah, their wave clear is not too good until Innocent gets a little bit more, and even then you'd have to rely on his full barrage. The lack of early game pressure. Oh,
Well, here comes the pressure, right? Stormy's going to be tied down alongside Sakai. Another Petrify from Zorn. 2 kills for Vamos. And it's time to break that castle wall. Just chip it bit by bit. Cement not really as tough as SRG wants it to be, as Vamos has the Lord in the favor coming in from top side. A 3 against 5 defense, respawn time is pretty short, but unfortunately Innocent compromise, pulled away by Yoons, but that full barrage goes wide. Completely nullified. And Team Vamos still wants to go for more as the rest of SRG comes back to life. Holy Crystal for Ness, mid inhibitor goes down, Chibi escape, and SRG just cannot find a way.
it doesn't really seem like they're prepared to deal with this Cecilion. Their positioning is not ideal, though the draft isn't doing too many favors. Unfortunately, this series, the trend between these two teams does seem to be who can play faster, especially from the start of the game. And for this one, that was Team Vamos, a 10k goal lead in 10 minutes. SRG has been getting humbled quite a lot this playoffs, and this is looking like another repeat of that.
Maybe that is the solution, right?
Maybe.
The Vamos are winning, and by a landslide nonetheless.
Suyo can be pretty dangerous. Zeusin and Alpha, a pretty good combo to deal with him, especially with Matilda to add to that maneuverability. But this Carmilla Sicilian combination actually throwing a bit of a wild card factor in. I'm not sure SRG realized the full extent of what they could do, because while these are unusual heroes that teams would not regularly practice against in scrims, they are comfort picks for Zorn and Warlord, and they are showing it.
I mean, that's why Team Vamos are known for pulling out some rabbit out of the hat, right? And both teams paying respect to one another. The next checkpoint is the Lord, and SRG would just have to take it.
The teams are communicating the only way they know how. At this stage, I'm pretty sure SRG knows that it is unlikely they can make the comeback as well. A 10k net worth lead this early on is quite insurmountable. We've already seen it multiple times this series even. Innocent does have good scaling. If he can find a good positioning, maybe get a couple kills here and there, the shutdown gold would propel him quite heavily. But with only one inhibitor standing against every structure of Team Vamos, I don't think even SRG can pull this back.
Team Vamos still has the chance to prove that they are greater and bigger than the Giants themselves. With this Lord in hand, we're looking at a worst case scenario. Team Vamos taking all inhibitors but can't end the game. But best case scenario, they end the game right here, right then and there.
Yeah, I don't think it would be too hard for them as well. We already saw literally in the game right before this, where SRG was so far ahead that they could just run at Vamos despite the damage that was being put out at them and still not get punished much. Team Vamos is in that exact same situation right now with a Carmilla, with a Hylos and Revitalize, with the Lord on their side and minion waves all pushing in at the same time. SRG just does not have the tools to defend this.
You want to talk about the next factor, you gotta look at Innocent. Just got the Sea Halberd, the Malefic Roll, even the Enchanted Talisman for Yum. It's all about the cooldowns. Saving Private Innocent is the most important part. Vamos, they sync up the waves. I don't know how much SRG can do with it. Even the full barrage has its limitations in terms of acquiring targets.
Unless Innocent can somehow get a kill on both Warlord and Chibi in this next fight, this game is looking to be over, but they're going to try their best as the Lord pushes in.
Yeah, Sakai is going to be caught out, it's pulled away, but still goes down. Here comes the full barrage for Innocent. A last attempt. Katakacha outcommitted. Chibi assassinates Stormy. They want the crystal. Zorn on top of Innocent, healed out by Yum. Innocent takes Zorn down, but it's just not enough. And that will be Juego Numero 5 for Vamos.
The championship point denied from SR.